Welcome back to Sosnovka, Sovkhoz, episode 29, with me, Mr. Sealy P. We're back in the cattle shed. I do need to double check and see whether or not the productivity has appeared or not. Skies are looking grey, it's ominous. Productivity 100%, feeding through silage is on 0. So it's interesting, if it's on 100% already, why give them silage? If I give them silage, will it go up to 110%? So here we go. Let's unload. Still saying 100. 12,000 litres of silage in. I'll probably stick another load in just to be on the safe side. Yeah, it's weird. Unless it takes a little while to update. It seems weird that it was on 100% already and I hadn't given them everything. Or maybe it's just a glitch. I don't know. But we'll fill up the Kuhn SPV12 Comfort self-propelled feeder wagon. If you just accelerate ever so slightly, just pushing against that fills up way quicker. I tend to lift the header up when I drive around as well, because I have on previous episodes on Down on the Farm, you catch it on curbs and things like that. So do a second unload, should give us 24,000 litres in there. Should keep them going for a while. So because I've added some cows, we went from 25 to 35 and now we're up to 40. I'm giving them some mixed ration. They're on 21,000 litres. So yeah, we'll give them another another hit of mixed ration, because we filled up the grass recently, a couple of episodes back, and the last episode we filled up the straw. They've got a couple of loads of silage, so we'll just give them another load of mixed ration. So one bale of each, one silage bale, one hay bale, one straw bale, and we'll be good. Bit of admin housekeeping to do on this episode before we move on to anything else. Keep trying to remember to do that trailer. I will get around to it, I promise. Our money is depleted somewhat after the errors, the mistake a couple of episodes back with buying the chaser bin auger wagon and then having to sell it again because it really wasn't working out. We lost a bit of money there, but we did buy some new equipment. But that said, I did say we probably want to invest in a second harvester, so we're going to need money for that. I haven't even looked at doing sugar beet, so that will require, if I do that, a harvester. If I do want to get a bigger trailer and possibly a second truck, we'll need money for that. We'll also need money if we're going to get the wood chipper. So yeah, we're going to need a bit more cash, and if I want to buy some more cows, at 2,500 a cow, they're not cheap to buy. Okay, so that's all three in. Full load in the feeder wagon. Let's unload that And that should be our cows dealt with for a little while. Sheep have had grass, they'll take a while to munch their way through that. And the chickens don't need in looking after. So, see down the bottom right hand corner, above the unload symbol, that's the mixed ration symbol. So you know what you've got in there. If it's silage, it looks like a little toilet roll for some reason, don't know why. Okay, I will leave this in here as I do with the telehandler, although I think I might have actually parked right in the boot of the telehandler. Yep, I'll move that forward a little bit. Not too far, that'll do. So 40 cows fed, happy, productivity still saying 100%. Don't know, maybe it was a bit of a mistake, who knows, a glitch, an anomaly, who knows, never mind. But that's them for a while, which is good. So, next job, what do we do now? I'm going to get a bucket for the telehandler. And we'll whiz up and collect it. I've also purchased something else, which I didn't record somehow. I'm going to just drop off the wrapped bale handler, grab, whatever you want to call it, put it down here with all my miscellaneous bits of equipment that aren't being used at the moment. And we'll whiz on up to the store. So next to our bucket is the water tank. I'm hoping this hooks up to it. Of course it doesn't. I'm pretty sure, thinking about it, I did exactly the same thing on the Down on the Farm gameplay series on Bjornholm, and I probably found it didn't work then either, but I couldn't remember. Had to check, you know how it is. So what is he up to? That's the big question. Well, firstly, I'm going to hook up the bucket. There we go. And we'll take the telehandler back to the yard. And we'll just park it up here. As you can see, the money is looking a lot healthier. I did a load more logging overnight. A load more logging. Jump into the Sammy, back up to the store to pick up the water tank. Yeah, did a load more logging. And our little forest up there at the lumberyard is looking more like a small copse now. It's tiny. So if you watched any of my how-to videos, and I have mentioned it before on the Down on the Farm series, you don't have to buy your water if you've got a water source on your map, and I did show on the filling the water tank, I can't remember what I called the episode now, on the how-to videos. Each map has a water source that you can fill up for free. I've only ever tried it on this river, on this map, so because I haven't got the auto help on, but if we click R1 it's filling up with water. Lovely. Free. So I've got enough money to buy the water, but at the end of the day, if it's free, it's free. And there are only two reasons I can think of at the moment that require water. One of them we can't do on a console version. On PC versions, your animals all need water. On console versions, they don't. And I am really hoping that on FS17 that has been rectified. I really am. Yeah, the anticipation is building for the release of that game. So much possibility, so much potential. How much of that we'll see on the console? Who knows? So, we've got a telehandler with the bucket. We've got our Sammy with the water tank. It's quite detailed. Do like it. Strapped on. Little hose attachment there for filling up. Motor there for the pump. Nice little sticker on it that says water, just so you don't mix it up with the fuel one. I think the fuel one is orange. So what do I need the water for? I made some purchases, and the lovely gentlemen from the local greenhouse company have come along and installed our greenhouses. We have 4. I'm going to turn the auto help on because I need that to know what I've got and how much I need to fill it up. If you haven't seen the greenhouses before, there are tomato ones and lettuce ones, I believe. I can't remember when I installed them now. We have a bucket there for manure, and we have a tank here for water. So you refill them from your water tank, water tanker, whatever you call it. Each one takes about 2,000 litres. Yeah, there we go. Now, for them to be fully productive, they need water and they need manure. But as soon as you put water in, the plants will grow, will start to grow, which will mean every hour you'll get a bit of money from selling your vegetables. Not vegetables, well, salad vegetables, I guess, aren't they? Oh, technically tomatoes are fruit, but never mind. But to be fully productive and to get the maximum money from each greenhouse, you need them to have manure and water. Now my water tank's empty, so what I'm going to do is try down this water source, which I haven't done before. I've done it at the flowing river, but this water source is like 2 small reservoirs that drain down towards the mill pond. I've never tried to fill up on this one before, so this is a test for me to see, just out of curiosity. Let's see if it comes up with the load symbol. It does say, there we go, R1. Start refueling. Sorry, refilling. Okay, never mind. Right, so the last greenhouse will take 2,000 of that, which will leave me 4,000 sitting in it. I'll park that up by the side of one of the greenhouses. Now that I know I can fill up from this water source, it's only a few seconds away from the greenhouses, so that's a no-brainer. I put the greenhouses here, as you can see, where you've got a slope. It will give you the concrete slab. The steeper the slope, and depending on how you place them, if the concrete slab's too high, it won't give you the unload option, the trigger. So try and put them on flat as much as possible. And I've put them here because they were close to the farm, which means they're close to the manure, which is what I'll need. The fact they're next to the water source, I hadn't even thought of that, but that's actually a happy coincidence. So that's the water done. Pop that here. I can stay there until I need. Just going to have a quick look. I could have just jumped up, but I'll use the steps. Be civilised. Sliding doors, how fancy. Okay, very nice. They are looking rather large, aren't they? Actually, it did say tomatoes, or peppers. They look very big. And we'll skip by that one, and we'll have a look in here at the lettuce. Lovely, very nice. Okay, so that's our greenhouses. I might add some more greenhouses. I might put another couple. I've got a big field here, so I might put another couple along the side. We'll see. See what takes my fancy. But what we do need to do now, though, we've got water in them, is get some manure in them. They need manure to grow nicely. Now, the cows haven't produced a massive amount of manure, so hopefully the manure I give the greenhouses is going to last a little while, long enough for the manure to build up again from the cows. I think the chances of me getting to a point where I can use manure for the fields is going to be pretty slim, because I haven't got enough cows and they're just not producing it quick enough. But nevertheless, I have some in here. So let's scoop some up and get some into the containers. 4,500 litre bucket capacity with a nice little picture of steaming poo down the bottom. Lovely. Now, the trigger for these containers, you need to unload this slap bang in the middle. So when you're looking at it side on, it needs to be right across the middle and level. Otherwise it tips and you'll have your manure will be pouring out, but it won't fill the container. So you need to get it so the actual tip of the bucket is pretty much central. Tip it slowly, and once you see it start to fill up, you're good. If you're too far back, too far forward, you'll tip. You'll be losing your manure, but it won't be filling the container up. So just a word of warning. I take an odd amount. It's very peculiar, considering the bucket sizes you get for the different implements. The skid steer, the telehandler, and then obviously the wheel loader's got that big one. They take an odd amount of manure, these containers, but never mind. Go and get some more manure. It's good for the plants. My granddad used to swear by it on his allotment. For those of you who may be American and watching this, or Canadian, or anywhere else, I don't know if you have allotments. In the UK, we have allotments. Just think of a farm, but on a much, much smaller scale. And I mean tiny, tiny, tiny scale. Areas of land set aside for people to own a small patch of ground so they can grow their own, I say crops, I suppose technically it is crops, but their own vegetables and beans and that kind of stuff. Generally speaking, well, men and women do it now. Lots of people, families use allotments now as well. But it always used to be that place where granddads, dads, would have their own little shed, little potting shed, their own bit of allotment, somewhere they could go and escape to. Like I say, a mini farm. Right, I think this last load is probably going to clear me out of manure. I'm probably not going to have any left. But that should be all those boxes full. So my options now are going to be to either buy some more cows. I don't want to speed up time, just don't like doing that. So I might up it to 50 cows. That will give me a little bit more production on my liquid manure, my slurry that's over in that round tank, and my manure coming out. So how we get on? Especially if I buy more greenhouses, I am going to need it. Does also mean, because I've put them around the edge of here, that I've still got the grass in front, so I can still mow it and use it if I want to, which is kind of handy. But I have got lots of grass areas around now. Over by the mill pond where I cut all the trees down, there's a very big grass area I could cut there. If I wanted to do that for baling or for grass. I've got the area over by the sheep pen, so I've got plenty of grass areas. Right, I didn't think I completely filled this one, so I'll just make sure this is completely full. We are nearing the end of this episode, so new purchases. This episode, a new bucket for the telehandler. Ooh, exciting. a water tanker container for transporting water, 4 shiny new greenhouses. We have fed the cows, they are good to go for a few days and should be producing nicely. Like I said, a bit of housekeeping, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. More to come in the next one. If you like, give us a like, subscribe if you don't already, plenty more videos to come. Leave a comment if you want to. Always happy to hear from people. Whatever you decide to do, as ever, thanks for watching.